You know, you could set stuff down very gently. And it's offering your auric frequency of whatever you're doing. Because I could be like, oh, I could be slamming it down because like something's happening, like someone's falling into the fire, and be like, whoa. But I could like be aware of it still. And it was still a kind of emergency, but I still kind of took some time to make sure I set it down right because it was spike. So this is the I am voice of that moment I set it down. This silence in the vibration would still be some reverberations on my voice. So when I say this word, they're all I am moments. Or is it connected? It's all up to the I am now to determine if you determine blah blah blah.
And bring you back home ready for the next
I didn't know you started recording.
Here's your host, Sean Bond.
Yeah, I gotta go through like
and making products for their benefit.
Hello, welcome to the show. We have special news, special awareness, special everything into the you of the universe, going back and forth and all spectrums of time and space. Thank you for being here. And I am here with Ryne Eichman.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, it was awesome being here with everyone here. Amazing to hear you are here, so we can share. Yeah, it's great to be on your show, Sean.
It's not just my show, it's everyone's show. If you mail in your name, I don't know. Well,
I'm great to be.
Of it.
It's great to be on the show of the person who's listening right now.
Yeah, thank you for having us on your show, audience. Exactly.
So we're going into the I am voice, just as we were just speaking about. There are sometimes beings come up with ways to limit the I am's emanation of their voice, the sounds that they make, which is linked with the intention, which is linked with the fourth dimension, or whatever you want to mention about it. This I am technology that you're in right now is the skin suit DNA technology, and it comes to a focal point of the micro being where you can say, it's like you're on a megaphone, you could say, I am the I am presence. You could say, I am choosing to cancel, clear, and delete all the contracts which no longer serve me, and I offer them to this fire ceremony. Because you can go into ceremony. During ceremonies, you will use your I am voice. Ceremonies are conscious application of the sacred. What is an I am voice? Sometimes we use it like, it's nothing, forget about it. Sometimes we use it and it's just a recreation. Or it's just something that fills a space because it's the right timing of the music of the moment. And it's, sometimes we have something burning inside us and a passion we want to convey from our auric frequency into our sounds that we make and the intention we feel inside of these third dimensional language packets of light, emanations of sound creations right now, which would be our message being conveyed through the I am right here speaking to the recording device and the fire going in the background saying its I am message of its fireness and its consciousness and its great mystery and great spirit connections, which the fire brings us as well. That's the I am of the fire. Having an I am voice and speaking in it and wanting to really emanate yourself through a message is important to give sovereignty to all the other I ams who won't have a voice too and have their own dreams and have their own life they walk. So in order for you, who is the being of the now, who's right here and now, to have an emanation of true, authentic I amness or I am voice emanations, you would choose to offer sovereignty to all I am to come to the microphone and come and say their heart's truth and use this language, no matter how many people say is limited, use this language to convey a heart truth. because that's your right as a being who can translate the messages of the infinite from unseen to seen. And that is why we're speaking about the I am voice. And it's as well as an example and different ways to view your I am presence, which we all are operating with our source connection point.
Yes, thank you. It's good. It's good to lead up on the eminence and focus towards the conscious application and being of emanating a voice that carries weight and sees, feels, emanates, changes, works with, heals, and there's all the different spectrums of manifestation, of course, and that people have programmed it with as a belief engine back onto their DNA technology they've inherited, and even into the music of the spirits and those realms of sound, the frequency that can be heard, the body is tuned to it, and how it is able to be changed by sound frequency and linguistic wave genetics and sacred geometry linguistics, neuro-linguistic programming, and going into all the aspects of the body that react to sound, as well as the environment we're in, the life, the fire, the wind, the different elements of existence, and all what they choose in their reality rules of expression to us and other realities, going in an interactive zone of extension of here I am, this is what I am allowing to show you about myself. Here is my voice as a carrier frequency for greater information that your technology is able to perceive. Can you perceive all of it? Can you emanate around the same wavelength and breathe your being?
Or will it be lost in translation? And that is an act of trust in the being that you're translating your conversation with. Be an act of trust, and it is true. But really, when it comes down to it, whether they're ready to convey a message where they see your whole self and see you unlimited, which is your right to be unlimited, until they are at that point, it doesn't matter. It's you. There is no them at their point, because the conversation comes with two people and a message is one single message. And if you're pushing a message and someone is not getting it, then you're trying to push something kind of like a drug onto someone and drag them down to, or up to a higher frequency. You're trying to drag them out of their state into a different frequency so that the message can be translated in their own terms. So that's why there is a constant natural separation of densities that happens on the planet and within the dream world interaction that we all go through day to day with. One second. Yeah, I got lost in my own translation. So that's why there is a clear separation of densities that occurs whenever, let's say, someone is a newly awakened person. They just found out certain things while there's unseen beings that are controlling all of these puppets of the people in bodies. Because these people are not really sovereign. Look, I'm awakening, people are waking up. That's why there's a clear separation of densities that is a foundational part of this universe and on this planet too. And any sort of interaction with the Dreamweave, there's a separation of densities that occurs naturally, so that you, who's in the fetus and womb light manifestation form, or you, who's the being of the now, who's saying that I am, you are there, and you're also the Dreamweaver, because that I am is what? And then it's whatever you dream of, is what that I am could be. And there's a point where this I am's dreams have nothing to do with this other I am down the street's dreams, because they're dreaming of going to the system of domination and control and becoming an agent and learning that message that's been on repeat, that is false illumination and false light teachings and all the endless trap of the rabbit holes that don't end with the carrots and sticks. And you don't want to dream their dream. So there's a clear separation of densities that already happens in the dream world. Whenever you actually state your intent in your I am, you say, I dream this. I dream this into existence because I believe I'm worthy enough to dream. And I want to bring something that I'm not seeing right now into the scene. Even if it's in the scene in the backstage and it's behind the scenes and it's just a feeling, I'm putting that out there. That's my I am echolocation that I'm sending. And there will be a separation of densities connected to it. Meaning the being over there who's dreaming that dream of system of domination and control will no longer even be in my dream. Because their bubbles don't really mesh with the material that's in my dream world. Which is, whatever my I am is presenting or emanating or wishing to emanate or dreaming. Because we are the dreamers in the dream. This is the dream of the dream. You can still connect to infiniteness when you get everything unseen or seen, and unseen to seen is your mission as the being at manifest, making unseen to seen. Pure balance is required, for this is also a paradox reality, where it's a paradox on every rabbit hole you look into. So where there's a foundational point in the reality where it's right there, it's a paradox. You go too much to one side, and then it hits a point when the other side it hits a point of laughter, when the polarity doesn't matter, and the light being is doing some of the darkest things ever, saying that they're a light being, and it just gets to a laughter point. And it's paradox remedy reality. There are beings who work with laughter on the spirit layers as well, like the Heyoka, or I'm still barely learning about them, but the Heyoka.
So the show, we will be going into concepts of light language, into greater manifestations in all the different spectrums of the technology of the voice that can empower the greater awareness and doubtless voice eminence of infinite being. I guess the next would be I tune into like universal eminence into the voice, into the greater infinite, and getting that to a point where it's full endreamment and fading out the old limited dream. And then the thing of great eminence through the sound perceiving technology and other things. You could also look into that while you're doing that in perception technology for the greater universe through every photon of light hitting you from any sensual sense direction, and how it brings to you greater information, and there can be a greater exchange than anything that wants to be limited, such as through the higher self resolution of why ever anything is happening, so that it gets to a greater resolution with less interference to the mission of the sources within each bubble of reality, so that they don't harm each other throughout all their plays and goals and motivations, so that unity can eventually gradually be had among the spiritual realms and aspects and realities and beliefs and kingdoms, and or whatever definition of unity round table concepts for the soul families in different layers of realities for the planet, and what manifests, what is going on at any given time in the background, above, below, and within. And the inner reflections of all of them and what they mean to each other for the greater resolution of anyone that can go into greater healing if they choose. So like seeing it a way that like the things coming at you or the way you perceive it or both can be in a greater state of purity in light eminence based on like your own belief system of how information comes to you, and built upon that an awareness of your greater ability to interact with any given reality and the rules beyond everything in that everything is connected. So yeah, doing that with the universe, and you're beyond probably the like infinite aspect of you. Yeah. Yeah,
and like how you speak about the placebo belief reality that we're in, where what you believe is true is true. Having the realization about the belief system that's been set up, that's been empowerment for yourself, which through a belief system, because we're empowering the things coming to us, empowering the unseen, empowering whichever we bring our I am into. We are giving the source to it. We're giving it source expression. And the source being, who you are, who's the being of the now, is source incarnate. And source incarnate is able to have its own plans. And a lot of times, it gets an option to take a course of an action to have its plans align with universal peace plans, or plans where the universe still flourishes. So then you can take your belief system and your I am interaction to the universal levels because of your choice to, because you use your I am voice to. Just like that coyote or wolf chose to do the I am voice just now, or dog, whatever it was. It was a choice. Was that heard throughout the universe? Or was it just heard here around this fire? Or around the laptops of other people, or the phones, or whatever device? This is going to be heard on through infinite potentials made manifest, seen from the unseen. So when you bring stuff to universal view, you just know the foundation's got to be made first. Universe needs to have peace. No people stepping on other journeys for no reason at all, because it's always for no reason if you're stepping on someone else's journey. There are times when you can, because you're a role in their life. And this is agreed upon on different levels, but you can't go about extending and pushing your own stuff so that you manifest instead of someone else having a chance to manifest. Because you got to speak in universal language whenever you're directing intent to universal harmony with your voice, whenever you're going to convey something. So you could say, I call a universal spiritual court of equity, all ancestors present in unity consciousness in the fifth world of peace, sixth world of peace, of universal peace. And then you go about saying your universal dream, which you wish to offer in prayer, which you wish to give to yourself, what you want to revoke and invoke into your life. On the universal level that doesn't entangle with other beings throughout the universe in any way, shape, or form, in any way that's not peace. And it's about letting go of the petty, mediocre things that really are just going to end in something that you don't want. So that's my own choice to choose anything that I choose. And then I can't be blaming other people or feeling shame, blame, or guilt because I created it. And I'm creating more shame, blame, and guilt when I'm feeling shameful or blaming others or guilty of something. it's my choice in the now to be the I am emanation. And I wish to just be free right here and now and share this wisdom that's coming through knowledge right now, through action of using the voice to make I am manifest rather than just staying in the womb or staying in the femifestation, pre-manifest, pre-birthed, from infinite birthed into a finite thing that we can all share, which can be translated in many different ways, which is like this voice and these words. And the whole matter around us, Mother Earth and everything in all around us, the sounds of the fire, the sounds of the winds going through trees long away from us, still somehow heard. Depends on the consciousness. If you're universal, do you hear when a tree has wind blowing through it on Pluto when you're you're millions of light years away? That would come into your foundation to you being a universal citizen, a universal being who was born in this universe, part of this universe, ready to take up the mantle of responsibility of offering universal citizenship for every being of the universe who's willing to be a universal citizen. Excuse me. So, the separation of densities occurs naturally because dream weaves are like bubbles. Dreams are kind of like bubbles. If two bubbles meet, they usually pop, but they're different. When you're talking about dreaming bubbles, they'll mesh together because someone could be dreaming with someone else in their dream, and it's like their family or they're anyone in your life. Your dreaming bubbles are interacting. So certain things don't mesh, and then they're like, meh, I'm not going to dream that way anymore. You're out of my life. Meh, whatever sound. The person is in a different density, so their densities don't mesh and don't mix with other people's densities. So giving up to that, letting it go, saying, yeah, look, there isn't an ultimate force working with me and through me right now whenever I give up to whatever's in my heart. And there's an infinite amount of mental holes and trails to walk. And they can be gained from if you want. But it doesn't matter because the change doesn't occur to the statement.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's why the statements you make are so important, and the subtle nuances are so telling. Who has ears to hear it? What are you adhering to in your life? What is in your belief system? What is your belief system driving forward? Is it the you that you wish to be, the unvanquished dream of yourself? Is that the thing you wish to manifest? And it's always telling you in the subtle nuances. Is that really what you want to manifest? Is that really what? Is it really unvanquished? It's checks and balances. Just keeping an eye out of what we're actually driving forward. And sometimes we're driving forward something that's not in harmony with what we feel we want to be driving forward in our heart and our truth essence choice of the self, who is here for the self, as well as all the others collective. So sometimes we use belief systems that are empowering a life drive that we don't want. So maybe we could change our belief systems or tweak them. And look at my life is driven in a different way.